Hi, Nick Starchuk here, golf coach and teacher from Toronto, Canada, and this is episode 4 of mentoring the young PGA professional to become a better and busier golf instructor. So, in the first episode, we talked about how to increase your knowledge base with shadowing other teachers and taking seminars. In number 2, we talked about optimizing your relationship with your OEM, that's your staff package. In number 3, we talked about how to get your contract in place so your relationship with your golf course is a little bit stronger for you. And number 4, we're going to talk about how to fill your lesson schedule and how to really get through all the golfers that come through your course so you can start to get a little bit of a busier schedule. So the first thing I want to look at is whether you're at a public course or a private course, we want to try and make sure that you get your name out there, that you're in front of the golfers that come out. So let's start with the public golf course. There's a good chance your course holds tournaments, which is a great opportunity to stand on one of the holes and hand out business cards. So back in the day, I used to do Beat the Pros, and I almost got to a point where if I wasn't getting paid to do the Beat the Pro, I didn't really feel like it was worth it. Nowadays, I'm doing Beat the Pros for nothing. If I can find 4 hours or 5 hours in my day to stand on a par 3 and offer a Beat the Pro to somebody, where I can hand them a business card so they have something with my name on it in their pocket for the next few hours, and even when they go home at night, I'm definitely willing to offer that person a free golf lesson. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean they get a full hour of my time, but if they can come in front of me and I can give them a couple tips and a couple ideas on how I can get their game and their swing a little bit better, there's a good chance they're going to come back and sign up for one of my lesson packages. So what I want you to do is I want you to feel as though that marketing yourself where you're not being paid at that time is a great strategy to build your lesson book. Free is a business model. So if you can stand on a tee and hand out those cards, or maybe you're a long drive guy and you hit the ball really far, so stand on a par 5 and hit a drive for the group, whether it's a scramble or they're playing for fun, hit the drive and let them know that, hey, I can do this too. Here's my business card, and you can get out there and get a lesson with me, and maybe if you really want to improve, you can sign on for a package. Now, if you're at a private club, it's a lot easier. You can walk up and down the driving range and hand out a business card to anybody who hasn't taken a lesson from you before and just say, hey, if there's something that you're struggling with, or even give them a free tip on the spot. Giving them that little bit of information, that little bit of advice that shows that you care is a great way for that person to come back to you and say, hey, I really liked what you told me the other day, or I'm going to take you up on your offer. When can we book some time to meet? Now, you don't have to give away all of your time for free. I mean, you don't have to give away a full hour for free, but you can give them a little bit of time here, 15 or 20 minutes, where whether it's on chipping or putting on their full swing, even looking through their golf bag, recommend some new grips, whatever it is, you can help them improve their experience out there by giving a little bit of your time. And that time and that value is going to come back to you tenfold. I promise you. So take the opportunity to walk up and down the range. Whether you're in the pro shop or not, that might be a little bit difficult to hand out a business card every time they come in. You might create a little bit of a conflict or a pushy salesman kind of thing when they're already in the shop doing their thing, buying something, whether it's a green fee, a shirt, renting a cart, signing in a guest, who knows. But if you can make that person feel as though that you're really interested in helping their game and you're willing to give them some free time, what a great way to do it. If you're at a private club, there's a good chance you're going to hold golf tournaments as well. Whether it's an opening men's field day or a closing fall ladies field day, or whether it's a men's night or a ladies day, you can go and hang out on one of the holes, even if it's the first hole or one of the par 3s, and offer some advice. I mean, back in the day when I was really interested in aim point and green reading, I sat on one of the holes, and every time the ladies would come up, it was actually a ladies' day, they would come up, I would ask them, so, what do you see on this read? Well, what if we saw this? What if I asked you to maybe take a look at where the straight putt was down the hill or up the hill, or we walked around the hole to feel the slope in your feet? I would actually go up there and help them read those greens. Now, you can do this really fast. It doesn't hold up the pace of play, but they're going to be really intrigued with how it is that you were able to find the reads so fast that they're probably going to come back and say, hey, can you do a green reading clinic for me? Or can you give me a lesson? What I found was that the ladies' captain came to me and said, you were the highlight of the lunch after we finished playing. Everybody talked about how easy it was for you to read the green. They had no idea how to do it. Can you organize something for us next Ladies' Day for about 35 minutes or 45 minutes before we go out and set this up for us? Show us how you do it. Show us the quickest way for us to get a better sense of how the ball's going to roll on the green. Now, it was so simple to do. I had a lot of fun. I met a lot of new people that I hadn't met before, because if you're at a club, especially at a private club, there's a good chance that 70, maybe 80% of the members don't take lessons. And I would bet out of that 80%, half of them don't even go to the driving range. So they may not know who the teaching pro is. They might not go in the pro shop very often, so they don't know who the staff is. It's kind of amazing how the number of members at a private club don't know the names of the pros in their shop, but that's for another story. If you're able to get in front of some people that you wouldn't normally get in front of, that's going to spread like wildfire. They're going to talk about it, just like it did at the ladies' day. They didn't talk about lunch. They didn't talk about scoring. They didn't talk about who cheated. They talked about the green reading efforts that they got on number 5, and in 3 minutes, they had a chance to read the green really quickly, which they used for the rest of their round. They talked about it. They chatted about it. They traded strategies about what they did before and now what they're doing. It was a great way to really get them engaged and intrigued on green reading, because I think we know that if they can have more putts, they're going to shoot lower scores. So that was a great way to do it. Now, if you're at a public golf course, the public might not want to have some random person standing on a green maybe disrupting their round. It's a bit of a different environment. So you can stand on the putting green before they go out and play and just walk up to random people and say, hey, I got a little quiz for you. What do you think about this putt? Or what do you think about this read? Do you think that you could figure it out? You know, what's your idea on pace? What's your idea on finding the line? How do you aim? These are all different things that you can do to start to spread a little bit of information without giving too much away. That, again, is going to let you be on their mind for the rest of the day. And if you can put a business card in their hand, there's a good chance when they get home at night and they empty their pockets with teas and coins and their wallet and their keys, boom, there's your card right there. Nick Starchuk, golf professional. Here's my email address. Here's my phone number. If you need help, give me a call. That's how I really built my business. When I started at Glen Abbey back in 2004, which was a powerhouse of instruction, within a year my schedule was full because I took advantage of all of the people that showed up there for corporate tournament days or the membership, and I got my business cards out there. I offered free lessons as much as I could because I wanted to fill my day rather than twiddling my thumbs in the office. So I filled that time up with honestly a learning experience for me. Rather than going and flying somewhere and paying someone for a seminar or paying someone to shadow or taking a lesson, I got my lesson by learning how to work with the person in front of me, and I did it for free. So I gave away my time rather than what's in my bank account. And I thought it was a great way to do it. So for all of you golf pros that are trying to be a little bit more busy and get that practical experience as fast as you can, offer free lessons, and the best way to offer free lessons is to get in front of the people that come to your course every single day. Not everybody's interested in lessons. I know it's like 11% of golfers take lessons. It's a little bit bigger, you know, at a private club where people are a little more engaged into the membership. But my last year at a private club, we had over 30% of the membership active in the lesson program, which is the biggest number I've heard from talking to all my peers and talking to all the other managers of golf clubs. This was huge, and it had everything to do with, first, my energy, my engagement, the programs that we built, but I also helped bring up all the other pros underneath me to really engage them in learning a little bit more and getting them out there to do it. Now, they worked a lot of hours, so it's hard to give too many free lessons away, but when I couldn't do it, I felt confident in saying, hey, go see these people in the pro shop, because not only do they want to do this, they've got some good information, and I know it because I've taught it to them. So when it comes to building your lesson book, you can do it through the people at your golf course. You know, you can, I mean, I flyered cars in a parking lot, which is now kind of a faux pas. I used to put my business cards inside golf magazines at the local chapters and the golf stores. You know, anything I could do to where golfers went and they saw my name. I would pin my card up in a Starbucks on their board. I would go to the stores and the shops like Subway all around the golf course, and I'd put my cards there. And anywhere that I could put my business card was another opportunity for my name to get out in front of some people who might want golf lessons, who might be interested in improving their game. So I highly recommend going out there and trying to find a way to get your name out, even if it's for free. There's some online communities. I was lucky here in Toronto that we have a cool website called Toronto Golf Nuts. TorontoGolfNuts.com if you want to go check it out. And this is a local community of golfers within the region that are all golf nuts, whether it's talking about rules or courses they played or the equipment they've got. There was a golf instruction section, and I offered free online videos. You post your video, I'd be happy to help you out. And I went on there in my second year at Glen Abbey in 2005, and I went in there and said, look, if you want a free golf lesson, I'm at Glen Abbey, kind of a good course, raises my profile a little bit, come on out for a free lesson. And my conversion rate of getting those people into programs was so high that in 2006, I remember in the April meeting we had for everybody, my lesson schedule was booked. I was full. And it was full of majority of mostly people who were paying. I always blocked out a little bit of time for doing the odd corporate clinic that I would do for free to some of my friends who had companies, or make sure that I knew what the big tournaments were at the golf course, the big, you know, bank tournaments or CEO tournaments. And I made sure that I was available for those. So I would whip around the golf course in a cart and I would hand out business cards, you know, maybe a little bit, again, a faux pas. The head pro sure didn't like it, but doesn't matter. I was busy. They got their 30%. It was a win-win. So when it comes to really building your lesson book, get out there, get your name out there, do what you can do to get people in front of you, because if it's not full, get it full. And I know that people are going to want free golf lessons. So get your schedule full, get those practical hours in, and from there, you're really going to find a way to learn your craft and figure out how to deal with all the different people. And as long as you're learning things, like I mentioned in episode 1, where you can go and shadow people and take seminars and you're raising your knowledge on what the golf swing can do, and you're taking the PGA classes, can't forget that one, you're going to be able to really get a better handle on how to teach those golf lessons, how to teach a bunch of different people, so that hour lesson that took you before is now down to 15 minutes. Hey, you got to do this. Take a picture on or video on your phone, get the guy's phone number or girl's phone number, send them an email or text and say, hey, this was your swing. This is kind of what we're working on. Videotape yourself going through it so they've got a little bit of an educational, instructional video, and they're going to go home and watch it. They're probably going to share it with their friends. They might even put it on social media if they're socializers. These are things that are going to help you get your name out there, which is the number one thing to start building your schedule. So, Episode 4, really talking about all these cool things on how to build your schedule. I hope you like the other episodes. Go back and take a look at those so you can start to up your IQ on how to be a better golf professional.